In this video, I'll share 3 of my closing plays you haven't heard of yet, and I hope you'll use them to crush your quota this year. I've been a full cycle sales rep for 8 years before getting promoted to sales manager, but in my first year, I was seriously questioning if sales was the right career for me. See, I missed my first shot at a promotion, but since then, I've made changes to how I sell. Changes that are the reason I haven't missed quota since then. And if you'd like to know what these are, subscribe to this channel because I'll keep sharing sales advice that worked for me. Now let's jump into those 3 closing tips. Ever found yourself in this situation? You're working this new deal, got the tech win on the POC, and the buyer decided to move forward with you. But there's one tiny hiccup. They still have 6 months till their contract renewal with the incumbent. What do? Time kills deals, and we both know that's plenty of time for an incumbent to win back the customer. Do you try waving around discounts end of quarter? Discounts that are a one-time opportunity and you will definitely not offering up again next quarter? There's a better way. One that wins you the deal now and protects your margins for future opportunities. You buy out the incumbent. Here's what that looks like. I was working this 488k deal for 8 months, and in Q1 I thought I had it in the bag. But this buyer still had an active plan until end of August, and we only needed 45 days to do the migration. This should have been a Q3 deal. The house wasn't burning, and they didn't want to pay double for the same service. So I asked my champion one simple question. Say you didn't have to cover the sunk costs for your current supplier. Is there anything else that would hold you back from signing the contract this week? They said no, and I found out the remaining amount on their contract was 90k. So I got approval to discount the deal from 488k down to 400k for the first year as an investment into the relationship. I didn't label it as a discount. We weren't devaluing our service. We were taking one step toward the buyer and asked them to meet us halfway. Got the signature in 3 days. We also managed expectations that to renew on the same scope, they would have to budget 488k next year. This next one has to be my favorite end of year closing technique. And the best thing about it is it works even if the buyer says they have no budget left. You know how businesses pay taxes on their profits each year? Well, the smartest of companies know they can invest those profits better than governments can. Might as well make a case to invest in your solution, right? Here's how that works. I was working this 126k opportunity where the company took things slow, true to most enterprises. It took them 2-3 months to migrate all their processes over to our platform, so instead of paying for resources they wouldn't use, they told me they'll start with a smaller scope and expand start of next year. That way they could buy now and didn't have to apply for additional budget. We started with 80k, but then September rolled around and I needed that 46k to hit my targets. So again, I asked my champion, with the onboarding going so well, are we still on track for that scope increase in January? They said yes, so I made a case to reinvest their profits and upgrade end of year. They'll get to finish the complete migration sooner and the business would pay that money anyway. Might as well invest in the growth of this product line. Then I asked, is this a strong year for the business or is every department being asked to cut expenses wherever they can? My champion didn't know the answer but said he'll ask the higher ups. Within a week he got back to me saying it's a good year for them, so let's move forward with my proposal to buy early. Got the signature in November. Now let's say you have a strong business case. You want to validate that case and discuss budget, but the decision maker's calendar is fully booked 2 weeks in advance. The last thing you want is to lose momentum on deals between touch points. But being pushy and impatient isn't exactly helping you get on the DM's good graces, is it? Execs will smell your commission breath a mile away, and that's a surefire way to lose the trust you've worked so hard to build. Here's how I got around that when managing a 124k upsell. This was an existing customer, one who started off self-serve spending 3k, then 6k. A year later I expanded them to 20k ARR. They were now moving from 20k to 144k. A big jump. And I only had 2 months left before the end of the year. So instead of waiting weeks at a time to move forward, I went in heavy on video messages. I sent my champion a no-ask update each time we made progress with their team. When it came time to get their approval, I sent them a 5-minute video message on my recommendation, what I was proposing, and backing it up with everything we've done so far with their team. Now, I usually don't recommend discussing price over email, and even here I gave them 3 options just so I don't disqualify myself. The goal was to enable my champion to make the sale internally. And it worked. They ended up going with the middle option and the deal closed end of November. And if you also want to make videos part of your closing, check out this next video where I share 5 ways I use videos during my sales cycles. See you there.